Master Tavern Keeper's History of the Old World. And so, on to the famous tale of Jack of the Sea and the Circle of Dolphins. The story goes that after old Jack's raid on one of the gigantic golden barges of the Golden King of Kofa, with the infamous corsair Saida Reis and her crew, the pair were celebrating upon her ship, the Song of the Flower, as they sailed away south through the Shark Straits. The rum was flowing and the spoils were being passed about like children's toys. Alcohol and gold are never good bedfellows though, and soon an argument erupted between two of the corsairs. Their blood was up, and clasp knives were soon unfolded and brandished with intent. Being a true son of Ranald, old Jack couldn't stomach infighting amongst the common men, and duly thrust himself between the two combatants. Unfortunately, he'd had so much rum that he was a bit the worse for wear, and duly tumbled off the side of the boat. The sharks that infest those waters immediately swarmed unto him, but Jack was the pawn of two gods, both Ranald and Manan, and no sooner had he hit the sea than a dozen dolphins jumped up out of the water and put themselves between Jack and the sharks. They then circled him, fending off the ferocious predators until Saida and her corsairs could haul up the drunken pirate. Oh, yeah, I can see the benefits of pledging yourself to such a god. Who? Ranald or Manan? It doesn't matter, I suppose. But a word of warning. There are some things you'll need to be careful of if you do become a follower of Manan. One is this. His devotees refuse to start any voyage, or any venture in fact, on the 13th of each month. Or also during a Gehemnistag, the Day of Mystery. Of course, I consider the latter very sensible, but as to the former, I'm afraid the significance of 13 completely escapes me. I think I might be able to help you out there. You see, we Truthsayers have ascertained that certain numbers are very important to certain gods. Wait a moment, Septimus. Neophytes, I want you all to close your eyes and cover your ears until I tap you on your shoulder with my shillelagh. Ooh, now this sounds like my kind of party. Stone the crows, Heinrich. My shillelagh's not the thing that you're thinking of. Yeah, of course. It is your big, long stick. Too right it is. Anyhow, now the neophytes can't hear us. Let us talk about the numerology of the dark gods. Know this. It is known to we Truthsayers that each of the dark gods has a sacred number. The dark princes is 6. The plague gods is 7. Sorry to interrupt there, Sedrik, but speaking of he we call Nurgle. Well, he and Manon actually had a bit of a run-in, let's say. Apparently, Manon discovered that the plague god was turning whales into terrible, rotting monsters. He brought the plague god to battle, but neither could triumph over the other, and in the aftermath of their battle, well, the coastline of Norska was left the shattered thing that it is now. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Anyhow, I'll crack on, shall I? The blood god, whom we call Karnath, holds 8 to be of importance, whilst the god of change is obsessed with the number 9. 10 is important to the gods of order, whereas 11 is the number of Malal. What? Who? Sedrik, you said too much. Heinrich, hear me. This is not a topic to be broached anywhere near the neophytes. We will talk of him another time. Please, keep, what is it you Nordlanders say? Ah, yes, stumm. Yes, that's it. Heinrich, please keep stumm on all of this, particularly the god who holds 11 to be of importance. Oh, yeah, I see. Well, I shall just have to keep stumm, then, Master Tavern Keeper. Aye, you better have. On your honour there, Heinrich. Anyhow, 13. We've not touched on 13, have we? 13 is sacred to the Skaven god, the horned rat. Ah, yes, of course. 13 comes up numerous times during the fall of Kavzar, if I recall correctly. Oh, so it does. Anyhow, I know that they are a race that Manon holds a particular hatred for. Well, them and the Druki. As the Ratman, well, they've polluted many a water source and have just been a massive pain in his astern since they arose in the rubble of your Kavzar there. So, here's what I'm thinking. I'd hazard a good guess that the reason he forbids his followers from travelling on the 13th of the month is because 13 is so significant for his great enemy, the horned rat. I couldn't say for sure, though. Ah, yes. Well, that makes sense, but if that's the case, why doesn't he have a taboo on the number 7, then? The number of the plague god. I'm not convinced. Oh, yeah, but Master Tavern Keeper, this conjecture aside, why does Manon hate the Druki so? Ah, well, that is something I do know. It is for the corruption and enslavement of many of the sea beasts of the deep in the black arcs of the Dark Elves. Manon will never forgive any who mistreat his children. But more on them and others later. Oh, yeah, I see. Well, that is understandable then. Ah, well, but I'm afraid, fellas, that's it. That's all I know. Now, if you two gentlemen would be good enough to tap all the neophytes on the shoulders, then Septimus, you can get back to telling us about Manon. Ah, indeed. Come on then, Heinrich. Let's hop to it.
What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Hooray, up he riseth, hooray, up he riseth, hooray, up he riseth early in the morning. Put him in the longboat until he's sober, put him in the longboat until he's sober, put him in the longboat until he's sober early in the morning. Hooray, up he riseth, hooray, up he riseth, hooray, up he riseth early in the morning. Pull out the plug and wet him all over, pull out the plug and wet him all over, pull out the plug and wet him all over early in the morning. Hooray, up he riseth, hooray, up he riseth, hooray, up he riseth early in the morning. Hit him with a leg in a running bowling, hit him with a leg in a running bowling, hit him with a leg in a running bowling, hurrah in the morning. Hooray, and up he rides, hooray, and up he rides, hooray, and up he rides, hurrah in the morning.